Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you and thanks for joining me today. So I want to show you tips and tricks today on how to improve circulation, specifically in cold weather. So what can we work on outside of reflexology? Simple things like just staying warm, so dressing more appropriate is going to help you out, right? Especially if you tend to be a person that's on the cold side. There's so many technologies out there in clothing. Like I know I'm familiar with Japanese Uniqlo, for example. They have a whole series of like thermal technology clothes. They call it, I believe, heat tech, right? And so they have socks, they have underwear, they have all these clothes that actually help the body retain heat. And so it doesn't go out. And so speaking of going out of your body, well, a lot of heat leaves from your head, leaves from your hands, leaves from your feet. So I do a lot of computer work, and so I'm wearing this because it helps me stay warm. I'm wearing a hoodie in my house, even though the temperature is fine. We do keep it on the cooler side, but dressing for when I'm going to be sitting in front of the computer is really important, and then that way I stay warm. So even using other technologies like heating pads or foot warmers or glove warmers can be really great. There's some that I've seen that are battery operated. I haven't used them before. But some people use them and it works really well. It keeps them nice and warm and comfortable when they have to go outside. And so when you're dressed appropriately for the weather, then another tip is to stay active, right? It's simply going outside, going for walks, just something light to keep the circulation going is really important. Join a yoga class. So you can go to a nice warm community center and get your circulation moving for an hour or so. That can be really great. So just have it in your mind to move around your house if you're doing lots of computer work and you're sitting there. I try and remember to get up and move around when I'm sitting, because you do get colder when you're just sitting around. Incorporating movement into your daily schedule is going to be better. And yes, we have to put a little more effort into when it's cold, because we tend to not want to move around as much when it's cold. Another tip is hydration and nutrition. So drinking plenty of water, and include circulating, boosting foods, things like ginger, citrus fruits, nuts, and cayenne, right? There's lots of recipes out there that you can sort of add into your daily schedule. Just having hot water with ginger in it is going to be a great benefit for you, right? And it's good for stomach issues as well. So things like that to keep warm on the inside out is really great. Even pu'er tea is meant to be warming and great for you during the winter seasons. Just thinking about keeping hydrated and eating or adding stuff to your diet can be a great benefit as well. Another little thing is just to avoid prolonged exposure to cold. So just avoiding prolonged exposure to extreme cold can be a great benefit to you all, especially with your circulation system. When you're outside and you get colder and colder and colder, then the circulation starts moving away from your hands and feet and head to try and keep the core of your body warm. You move into survival mode, right? So it becomes a stress response, and you try and keep warm that way. So if you can keep warm as quick as possible after you get out of extreme cold, that's a little bonus as well. The last tip is, it's related to reflexology, but just self-massage, working on ourselves to create more circulation. When we rub our skin and give deep pressure to it, it brings circulation to the surface, right? And that warms up our body. So having a nice time that you make to give yourself a self-massage is really great. And you can use different oils and things like that, because different oils have different properties to them. For example, I think in the Ayurvedic tradition, they use a lot of mustard oil around this time of year because that is more of a heating oil, right? Or sesame oil. That tends to be more of a balanced overall one, but it is a bit more on the warming side than something like coconut oil. Choosing, if you want to do an oil massage, choosing a proper oil might be a great benefit to you as well, and just working it will bring more circulation. So hopefully that was a bit of an overview, and reflexology is really great. Going to see a reflexologist, doing reflexology on yourself, all of that I am a thumbs up for, because it's really great. Keep yourself warm, working on your own feet, working on your hands. You can work on your ears if you know all the little points. If you don't, just work yourself. You don't have to know, you don't have to be a reflexology expert to get a benefit from working on your feet, hands, and ears. That's one of the great things about reflexology. You don't have to have deep, huge understanding to be able to create a benefit in improving circulation during the cold weather, for example, right? So those are some tips. That's what I would work and offer as the little bit I know about reflexology. So if you have some great ideas about ways to improve circulation in your feet, things like that. I didn't mention, I just remembered now as I'm blabbing here, foot soaks. Soaking your feet in foot baths is absolutely great, and especially if you have things like ginger, that's going to really bring circulation to it. So you can either cut up ginger, or there's some great Japanese bath salts that have ginger extract in it, and they're meant for warming during the season as well, that I've seen at different supermarkets, Japanese supermarkets, T&T, that's not Japanese, but they carry Japanese products there. But yeah, you should be able to find something like that. If not, you can cut up ginger and throw it in your foot bath. That can be a benefit as well. Epsom salts, all those kind of things. But having a nice warm foot bath really does bring the circulation up, and you can feel great benefit from it as well. So yeah, foot baths, I'll add that on the list as well. The adrenal glands are found on the medial side of the foot here, and they're right about here. Okay, so they're above the kidney reflex, which is down here. But right in here, you're going to find a tender area. So you can just search around right on the medial side of the arch of the foot at the top here, kind of underneath where this bump is. Just search around there, and you'll find a really ouchy part. And that is most likely the adrenal glands. And you can just work it like this. I like to push in and then out towards medially, right? So when you're working on here, you can just pull out like that. And you can just stimulate that area. If it's really tender, I like to just do little circles all the way around it, and then come back to the very center, the bullseye, where it's can be very painful, and then move out a little bit, come around, and then you'll notice that it will drop in sensitivity, and you'll be able to work it quite a bit. So this one's really great to work often. So yeah, if you have any great ideas about improving circulation, especially during when it gets colder and where we don't want to catch a cold, let me know in the comments below. Hope this video was useful for you. So if you're into reflexology and want to learn more about it, you can check out my website, which is balancingtouch.ca. I have a lot of information there. I have posters like this that you can pick up there. If you're interested in learning reflexology, I have online courses, whole bunch of stuff. So you can go check out balancingtouch.ca. Until next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca. Have a great day, and remember to keep those feet happy and warm. Take care. Bye. If you're interested in learning more about reflexology, you could subscribe to the channel below. It's also very helpful to hit that like button, and feel free to share it with anybody who you think might be interested in it. You can find my online courses, Reflexology Charts, and other reflexology goodies over on my website, which is balancingtouch.ca. Thank you so much for watching today, and if you have some more time, you can check out some other videos. Till next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca. See you later.